morning. My name is Cassandra Williams of Cassandra Williams Enterprise, and I am your victory coach and the founder of Wise Wives Build. And I help wives, busy professional women, and kingdom leaders live the life that they've always dreamed of. And I help them live in that place by helping them develop their inner skills, garner the tools that they need. Um, so that they are prepared for what comes in this life. And so we are here for the morning tea. This is going to be our last installment of Bad Girls of the Bible. I have really enjoyed pulling out some things. I'm going to put this phone on. Do not disturb real quick. I have really enjoyed pulling out this information and studying these different women because so often I love studying Hannah. I love reading about Sarah. Um, I love reading about Deborah and studying those women. But then there are these other women that teach us what not to do, right? And so today we're going to be talking about like mother, like daughter, right? And most of us have heard the story of Jezebel. And Jezebel was Ahab's wife. And we know that she was very dominant. She was very controlling. She, hey, she attached herself to him. He might have had the position, but, she had the power, right? And we know Ahab, God had decreed and declared that they would not be ruling. And so he sent Jehu, right? And Jehu, Ahab was killed in his chariot. He sent Jehu to get Jezebel. And Jezebel, she put on her makeup, put on her good clothes, and she went to she went out to the window and the balcony and she was blinking her eyes and doing what we do, right? She was looking good. And she was like, do you come in peace? And he was like, no. He was like, nope, don't come in peace, right? And so we see Jezebel dying and being, the word of God being fulfilled. And then when you go to Second Kings chapter 11, a lot of times you think that's the end of the story. A lot of times you think that's the end of their lineage, that, hey, everything just went on and everything was fine. But no, Jezebel and Ahab had a daughter. And like mother, like daughter, right? And so when you go to Second Kings 11, you'll see her, and her name was, I'm gonna call her Lady A, right? But it's Athaliah, Athaliah. And she was the daughter of Jezebel and Ahab, and she was the wife of Jehoram, and he was the king of Judah. And so they had a son, and his name was Ahaziah, and he ruled for a year, 1 year, 1 year, and he wasn't pleasing to God, and he died. And here's the thing: when he died, his mama had the same spirit that her mama had. So when he died, she was like, "Oh, he dead." So what she started doing was she made plans to kill all her grandkids. Can you imagine that? All the nanas in the world. Hey, Anita, thanks for coming in. Says all the nanas in the world, right? I want you to think about this. Your son dies. Most of you would be like, yes, I got to take care of the kids. I got to, help them grow up. And, you're going to step in and be that mother figure and all of that. No, ma'am. That's not what she did, because she was power hungry. She wanted, just like her mom, she wanted the throne. Where she had been controlling her son, now she had no control. So what did she do? She set up a plan to kill all the grandkids. She was made a plan to kill everybody that was next in line for the throne. And so she became the ruler of the country. And she had the selfish ambition, but what she didn't know was there was a nurse. that took one of the babies, that took her son, that took Joash, which was her grandson, and she ran and she hid him. And she hid him in the temple of the Lord, right? She hid him in the temple of the Lord. Just let that sit in. Because Jezebel and Ahab was something else, right? So they said they hid the baby in the but they hid him for 7 years. 7. So she ruled for 7 years. She got her way for 7 years. Her plan worked for 7 years. So I really want you to think about that, ladies. Do you have selfish ambitions? Are you driven by power? Do you attach yourself to you only want the higher end type of men? Do you find it hard to submit? Do you find it hard to come into agreement and have that team dynamic that it's my way or the highway? And so we find her killing off all of the royal family except one. Except one. And what we find out that she would do anything for power. She would do anything for the position. She would do anything. And y'all, today there's still those women that will do anything. We're still out there. We're driven. We're driven by power. We're driven by position. We're driven to be the next great thing. And you know what? God is not pleased with that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go. I tell you every day that I'm out here, go out and be great. I want you to walk in your Godfidence. I want you to walk in the confidence that God has given you, but I don't want you going out killing people to get it. I don't want you to do whatever needs to be done. I don't want you to be doing underhanded stuff to get what you need. I don't want you sleeping with everybody to get ahead. I don't want you to be going out here paying people to get ahead. I want you to do things the right way. I don't want you to be so blinded by power and the need for it that you're willing to do the unthinkable to get it. That's not what I want for you. I want you to be able to have everything that you want in life. I want God to make you rich. I want him to give you the very desires of your heart, but I want him to do it with no sorrow attached to it. And so, what did we learn from this story? You have to never confuse what is socially acceptable with what is right. Just because everybody's doing it doesn't mean it's right. Just because people go along with it for a minute doesn't mean that it's right. Sometimes, because here's the thing, God will raise up another one, right? God raised up a 7-year-old little boy to take her place. God saved a 7-year-old little boy. And it's the age of 7. He took his rightful place. And guess what? She was overthrown and killed. So God will raise up a child if he have to do what needs to be done for his agenda to go forth. And so I wanted to leave you today. I'm not going to be out here long, but I wanted to leave you with this scripture, Proverbs 16:25. There's a way that seems right to man, but in the end, it leads to death. You got to make sure that you are doing things God's way. Don't let your ambition, don't let your drive, don't let all of that blind you to the will of the Father. Don't let that stuff blind you to what God is calling you to do. Don't be like her that's willing to do the unthinkable. She was willing to kill everybody in her family for the throne. And I'm meaning she was willing to kill everybody so she could have it. It wasn't like that they had something that belonged to her and she was taking it back. That's not what happened. She went in and she had to kill. She was killing for what she wanted, and she was willing to kill everybody in her family to get it. like mother, like daughter. That was easy for her because of what her mama did. It was easy for her because of what she saw in her lineage in the past. It was easier because of what her birthright was, because she saw her mom rule her dad. She saw her dad get killed. She saw her mom get killed. And now here she is, and she's sitting there and she's looking at, oh my God, I'm about to lose my power and my control. And she was willing to kill for it. Like mother, like daughter. Jezebel wasn't killing her family, but she killed how many? She was killing the prophets of the Lord right and left. She was doing whatever she needed to do to protect her title, her position, the power that they had. Because when you're dealing with someone with these types of spirits, with these types of mindsets, with these types of behaviors, y'all, they don't care about you. They care about what you have. Here's the thing, you may have the position, but they got all the power. They have all the power. Good morning, Sandra. Thanks for coming in. They have all the power. They're power hungry. They're motivated. They're driven. And they will run anybody over that gets in their way. So we don't want to be like that, right? We want to be the women that God has called us to be. We want to be wise women. We want to be women of honor, women of godly character. And I'm not saying you can't be the CEO. I'm not saying that you can't be a beast at what you do, because I know some women that are out here, they're doing it, but you know what? They're doing it God's way. They're not murdering people to get it. They're not sleeping around to get it. They're not making back end, backdoor deals to get it. They're doing it because that's what God ordained them and created them to do. She was the grandmother of the king. She killing all the kids so that she could take the throne. So, guys, I don't want you to be that driven. I don't want you to be that hungry. I don't want you to be that extreme in pursuing your goals, because the warning of today is this: Proverbs 16:25. There's a way that seems right to man, but in the end, it leads to death. Just because everybody else is doing does not mean that that's what you're supposed to be doing. Just because everybody else says it's okay does not mean that's what you're supposed to be doing. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, Takesha. Thanks for coming in. Just because you see it on the TV, that's what the real wise on the TV do. That's what I'm supposed to be doing too. I can talk to my husband any kind of way. I can do this. I can do that. Mm-mm. There's a way that seems right to man, but in the end, it leads to death. Good morning, Tiffany. Thanks for coming in, sis. Because I don't want you to be like mother, like daughter. Because a lot of times people stop with Jezebel, but Jezebel had a daughter, and that thing kept reproducing after itself. Because when they came through, they killed Ahab, they killed Jezebel, and they killed everybody attached to him. But she was left. And when she grew up, she had the same drive. She had the same power hungriness that her mom had. And guess what, y'all? She was willing to kill for it. And so I don't want you to be like that. There are some things in your bloodline, there are some things in your family lineage that you're going to have to disconnect to, that you can't stay attached to. I know your mom did it. I know your grandmother did it. I know all your aunties did it. But you have got to disconnect to that thing so that you can be the woman that God has created and ordained you to be. You've got to be able to say, you know what? I'm not going to act like that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to manipulate like that. I'm not going to be a murderer. And some of y'all, you know what? You know what? Let's be honest. Some of us, we would never take a knife. But oh, baby, we got a tongue that we have murdered. We have cut deep. We have cut, very quickly with our tongues, y'all. We use them as a weapon. And that's because that's what my mama did. That's what my auntie did. That's what my family do. That's how we talk to me, and that's how we talk to people. And that's just the way I am. Gone are the days, but that's just how I am. Because the Bible clearly says, he says, when you give your life over to Christ, you become a new creature. So guess what? You don't have to be like them. God engrafts you his his family. Listen, you have an opportunity to do it different, but you want to be like your mama now. You want to be mean, you want to be nasty, you want to be known as them bad words that people like to call you, and you wear it like a badge of honor. And no, it's just you, and you call it confidence. No, you're nasty, you're mean, and you're nasty, and God ain't pleased. So we don't want to take on those characteristics. Like I said, walk in your God-given confidence, honey. Listen, God has given you a level of confidence, but here it is. Don't start walking in pride. Don't cross the line. Don't cross the line to where now you're willing to kill for power. You're willing to kill for a position. You're willing to kill to have people look and say, look at me. And that's how you validate yourself. No, you are better than that. You're better than that. So don't be like Jezebel and Lady A from 2 Kings 11 to 1. 11, the whole chapter is her story. Like mother, like daughter. Because if you're not intentional, you'll find yourself doing things and you don't even understand why you do it. Why do you talk the way you talk? Why do you wear what you wear? Why do you do what you do? And sometimes, y'all, it literally goes back to, well, that's what I've always known. That's what I've always saw. That right there. Help us, Lord. Help us, Lord. Because we got to do better, y'all. We've got to be who God is calling us to be. And some things you got to just disconnect from. And so, my prayer to you today is for you, over you, is that God would let the scales fall from your eyes and that you would be able to see the behaviors that you need to change, that you would be able to see the things in your character that's like, that might be a little too left. That might be, check that, put that in order. Don't talk to them like that. No, 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 don't do that. We have been in the midst of a Superman challenge. So for the month of March, what did we do? We confirmed and we affirmed the men in our life. We began to speak well of them. We began to speak well to them. We began to text them messages and, really build them up so that by, hey, March 28th, see, I can come out here and I can tell you now because my husband will probably see this video. But March 28th, honey, they should be feeling like Superman. Their chest should be out, their shoulders should be squared. They should know that we appreciate them. Because, y'all, some of us, we done got so caught up in life and building a business that we forgot to tell our husband, we appreciate you. What about your son? That you're amazing, you're smart, God approves of you. Walk in your confidence today. When was the last time you poured into those people in your life instead of trying to get ahead? One of the things that God has really been dealing with me with, and the scripture comes up in my spirit every now and again, is what profits a man to lose the world, to gain the world and lose his soul. And my thing is sometimes it's like I have to look at it as God, I don't want to lose my soul. But here's the thing, what profits a man to gain this whole world and not have somebody to share it with either? See that's the kind of stuff that the drive I'm talking about is that you're so driven in your business, you're so driven in ministry, you're so driven in everything else that nothing else matters. Your family doesn't matter. Family first, y'all. That's your first ministry. That is your first ministry. So guys, don't be like these two right here. She was her mother's daughter. And sometimes, y'all, when people say that to you, it's not a good thing. Sometimes it's not good to be your mother's. I mean, you can't change your family, okay? You listen, they are who they are. But here's the thing, when you've been, like I said, when you've given your life to Christ, he gives you a new identity and he gives you a new lease on life. And so you can disconnect from those things that don't belong to you. They don't belong to you. Poverty does not belong to me. Lack does not belong to me. Feeling like I'm less than and having to beg does not belong to me. I'm the daughter of a king. He affirms me, he confirms me. Insecurity does not belong to me. I know who I am in him. Low self confidence. Oh, no, 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 no. That doesn't belong to me because I can do all things through Christ. Christ who strengthens me, Christ who lives inside of me. That's why I can do it, not in and of myself. So I love y'all today. Don't um don't have selfish and vain ambitions. And just because it's socially okay, everybody else said it's okay, does not mean God approves. You better make sure that God is approving of what you do. You better make sure that you are in the will of the Father. Okay. So next week we will be it is Holy Week. So if you see me next week, I will be talking about um I will be studying, if anybody would like to join me, I will be studying the crucifixion, Jesus' journey to the cross. Many of you know it, the passion of Christ, right? And so I will be studying that in the Bible. That's what I do for Holy Week every year. And what I do is I study it and I look at it of what he did for me. I'll never forget. I have to remember what he did. I have to remember because it has to be personal. He did it for me, right? And so that's what I do during Holy Week. Okay, Takesha, during Holy Week, that's what I study. And every year God meets me and he gives me new revelation of his journey and how it applies to my own personal journey. So next week we will not be talking about bad girls of the Bible, but we will be talking about the passion of Christ, his love for me. Right. And so if you see me out here, that's what we're going to be talking about. It'll be a nugget that I've gotten from that particular study. So if you need to connect with me, please come over. If you're in Clubhouse, I will be in Clubhouse in about 21 minutes. Okay. So if you're on Clubhouse, please see me there. April 1st, we're starting a new challenge. It's an email challenge. All the information will be sent to your email. All you have to do is go to, and I'll put the link inside of the comments as well. All you have to do is go to wisewisebuild.com, and then there's a button that says check in for spring cleaning. And so what it is we're going to be spring cleaning areas of our life. Yes, I know. I look around my office and I'm like, oh, girl, you really need to get in here. But can I tell you something? Before I start spring cleaning in my office, before I start spring cleaning in my kitchen, before I start touching other rooms in my house, you know what I need to do? I need to spring clean here. I need to get this right. I need to take care of some other stuff so that my mind is clear. Some of the things that you have not touched, since last March because listen, we had to make it happen. Okay? We had to make it happen. The world shut down, the kids came home, and listen, we were in survival mode. But now, y'all, it's time to get things back in order, and that starts with you. You're never going to organize and get your house in order until you get your house in order. So we are going to, yes, to Keisha, yes, we have a challenge. We have a challenge. And so it's going to be a spring cleaning challenge. And what I'll do, April 1st, you get your first email. And what it does is I will be sending you different things to check in, but I'm just going to give you the things that you need to do. And then we're going to start. And the first thing we're going to tackle is this thing right here. We're going to tackle our mind. We're going to get our mind back right. Because listen, some of us, our mind been going, 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 going. And it's down the street, around the corner, and we got to bring it back in. Settle in because there is no thing as there's, listen, it's not going back to normal. So you got to wrap your head around this new normal. We're not going back. We're not going back to what once was. Right. Right, Sandra? Get things back in order. And so that spring cleaning that begins on okay, Sandra, I see that. I will add you. I will get you put in there. Are these what did you say to Keisha? Are these kind of emails I'm gonna report as spam because well, I hope it's not gonna slap you. Well, I don't know. You might report me. You might. You might. They're harmless. They're not. Kim, you need the spring cleaning as well. Okay. So yeah, so we're gonna do spring cleaning. We're gonna tackle 5 areas. Five. Just five. But you're gonna have the whole month to do it because here's the thing: when things are out of order, then we have a tendency to be out of pocket ourselves, and we can't seem to focus. We can't bring it all in, right? So that's what spring cleaning is about. So that begins on April 1st. So you can go to those of you that have put your email down in here. I will get you added to the system so that they will come, so that you will get them. But you can go to www.wisewisebuild.com, click spring cleaning check in, click that button, make sure your email is right, and then sit and wait for April 1st. And on April 1st, the information will come directly to you. I will be doing check-ins. We may have some times where we meet up together just to have a talk, to just check in. How are you doing? You doing okay? I'll send you an email saying, hey, are you still on track? you know we'll give you days. You have time frames. We put limits on it. So some things are 3 days, some things are 5 days, some days we give you about 7 days because it may take you a little longer to do it, but I give you tips on how to get it done. Okay, so that is for April, because we're gonna be, listen, we're gonna have to be ready to run, right? Listen, the world is gonna open back up, y'all, but it's gonna be a new way of doing things. And so you have to wrap your head around this this new thing, this new way of life, this new place that we found ourselves in. It's not going back to the way it was. Can coach help you today? We ain't going back. We're not going back to what was. So now let's build some new healthy habits, right? Let's build some new memories. Let's make it happen. All right. So love you guys to life. Thank you so much for being here this morning. This is open to all ladies, whether you are single, whether you're married. This is for you. Let's get ourselves, let's go get our life back, right? We're gonna get it all the way back together. So love you guys to life. Have an amazing day. Do me a favor, as I always ask you to do outside of your homework. So you're going to sign up for the spring cleaning challenge. You're going to do your homework. You're going to look and see if there some areas where I'm a little power hungry, that I'm not really walking in the way that God has called me to to be because we don't want to be like Jezebel and Athaliah, right? We going to do it the right way. We're not going to get stuff by doing backhanded deals and cutting somebody else down to be able to get ahead. That's not what we're doing. So you're going to do your homework. And then the third thing I want you to do today, y'all, it's Friday. So you know what I want y'all to do? I want you to go out there and be great. Okay? Just go out there and be great. Walk in your God confidence. Because guess what? Somebody is looking at you and they want to be just like you. You might say, Coach, I'm on a level 3 today. I'm on a 4. I ain't feeling it. You know what? Guess what? They're on a 0. They're on a 1. They think you're a 10, honey. They think you got it all the way together. So what are you doing? I want you to go out there and I want you to show them what a wise wife that knows how to build up her house looks like, and not one that is tearing it down with their hands. So y'all have an amazing Friday, an even better weekend, and I will see y'all right here. You might see me a little more often on Facebook. I don't know. Next week. I don't know. We'll just see. But definitely you'll see me on Wednesday and Friday right here. Normally at 8 o'clock. I was a little late today. Give Coach some grace. But for those of you that are on Clubhouse, run right over to Clubhouse because I'll be there in about 13 minutes. I love you guys to life. Have an amazing day.